Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Eric, and today we're going to explore the wild bush with the Pioneer Fighter subclass. So I'm excited to share my Pioneer Fighter subclass for D&D 5e. It's built around exploring the frontier, living in the wilderness, building a community, really being a pioneer, a settler, an explorer type of thing. So think about a survivalist or a lumberjack or somebody living alone in the woods like a hermit. We're going for that natural roughing it type of feel. So the Pioneer is available on the DM's Guild as a free to download PDF. But it's also available on D&D Beyond right now, so you can go and add it to your game with your DM's permission. Of course, I've included links to both in the description of this video. One of the things I wanted to aim for with this particular subclass was a more defensive style fighter. Now, there's plenty of offense here, but leaning heavily on defense and group utility, I think, is a pretty open niche for a fighter. Whenever I look at a subclass, one of my favorite features to see included is some sort of a rollable or selectable table that gives a little bit more character or identity to it. So I've included one here. The Pioneer Quirk table I've included here should help you define your character a little bit more. You can roll if you're not sure where you want to go, or you could select, of course, one of these to help you really hone in on that style. So maybe you're on the run from the law, so you're forced out into the woods, or you're just a natural kind of outdoor person. Okay, so of course, fighters select their subclass at 3rd level. So here are our 3rd level features. Scout skills allows you to choose a skill proficiency. You can choose from animal handling, survival, nature, or medicine. You also gain the guide's gear feature, allowing you to choose a tool proficiency. You can choose from smith's tools, mason's tools, carpenter's tools, cook's utensils, or leatherworker's tools. So 2 proficiencies are fun, they're flavorful, they're helpful, but our real ability here is Circle the Wagons. Circle the Wagons has 2 parts to it. One is passive and the other is reactive. Up first, you gain a bonus to your initiative roll equal to your Constitution modifier, a minimum of +1. And secondly, you can use your reaction to grant a bonus equal to your Constitution modifier, a minimum of +1, to the AC of a creature you can see that ends its turn within 5 feet of you until the end of its next turn. So the initiative bonus, that's kind of like you're tough, you're not going to tire out, you're just going to keep going. But the second part, the AC bonus, that's where we're leaning into more supporting the group, keeping them alive. So there's a good chance your Constitution modifier for most of the game is going to be +3, maybe +4, and then maybe eventually +5. It's going to eat up your reaction, which as a fighter is a pretty big deal. That's going to lose out on a lot of attacks. And that creature has to end its turn within 5 feet of you, setting you up, of course, for Fireball. I really like this. I think it's a really cool way to put the fighter focused on the group rather than just murdering the bad guys. Fighters gain their next subclass ability at 7th level, and with that we have Callused Skin. The idea here is we're starting to be tough, we're getting used to being outside, and we're just kind of harder to kill. Whenever you make a saving throw, roll a d4 and add the result to the saving throw total. Also, you ignore disadvantage on ability checks caused by the 1st level of exhaustion, and you suffer no environmental harm from temperatures as cold as -20 to as warm as 120. Gaining an extra d4 for your saves is a no-brainer. This is great. You're going to love it. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to resist those effects. It's just more defensive. Basically, ignoring the 1st level of exhaustion just keeps on trucking. You're just out there. You might miss that night or 2 of sleep, but it doesn't matter. You're tough. You've been through it. And the temperature thing is kind of a ribbon flavor, but it's just nice. You're accustomed to extreme temperatures. Up next at 10th level, we have Tough Gut. So we're going to use our Constitution modifier here again. So starting now at 10th level, whenever you use your Second Wind ability, a number of creatures equal to your Con mod that you can see around you gain temporary hit points. They last for 1 hour, and they're equal to half your fighter level rounded up. So if you're 10th level, all your friends get +5 temporary hit points. So it's temporary hit points, so it's not getting anybody up that's already knocked out. It's not a ton, so it's probably not going to swing the battle, but it's just inspiring your allies, keeping them going. And additionally, you gain advantage on saving throws against poison, and you gain resistance to poison damage. You've already tried those poison berries out there. You know what you're in for. Okay, so now we're getting pretty high in level. We're at level 15 with Experienced Hunter. Choose a target within 30 feet of you as a bonus action. That target is now your prey. So you and your allies now score critical hits with rolls of 19 or 20 on the D20. It lasts for 1 minute. You have 2 uses of it, and it resets on a long rest. Okay, so now we're super high level. We're level 18. It's almost the end of the game, so we need something that can be used, abused, and overpowered. With familiar ground, we're going to basically build a quick little shelter. As an action, you can quickly build a 5-foot square defensive structure. It has 50 hit points and an AC of 17. It lasts for 1 minute. It's immune to psychic and poison damage. A creature that ends their turn in the structure receives total cover and may choose to spend up to your Constitution modifier, a minimum of 1, in hit dice to heal as a reaction at the end of its turn. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short rest before you can use it again. So imagine you're in the middle of a combat and you have an ally that's wounded. So you quickly throw together a couple sticks or point out where there's a hole in a rock, a small cave. Your ally runs into there, they hide, and they can use hit die to heal. And the reaction occurs at the end of their turn. So they're basically sleeping in there. And outside of using this to restore your hit die, you could use this to hide from a passing patrol or some other shenanigans I haven't even thought of. So if you don't have time for a full short rest, you could plop this down. Everybody takes a turn restoring their hit die. And because hit die are a limited resource, I don't see a problem with that. And 2 more quick things I want to call out about the Pioneer Fighter subclass. It works extra great in a low magic or no magic setting. So if you're playing a campaign that might not be in a fantasy world or has special rules like no spell casting or anything like that, this grounded class works really well. And 2, I recommend you pair this with the Adventurous Human. That's my homebrew replacement for the human race. And it's also available on D&D Beyond, and I did a video on it. Both the race and the class are centered on that industrious, explorative spirit, and there's a lot of alignment in the abilities, so it's just a nice package. So that's the Pioneer. It's a fighter subclass. I think it's really, really fun. I think it's got a huge flavor. I think it fits a category of defensive fighter that we don't really have too many options for. But I'd love to know what you think, so leave a comment, or if you would, download it on DM's Guild and leave a review. That's huge for me. If you can leave those reviews, that means a ton. Thank you. My FryMinis Patreon patrons keep me going. Their support helps me buy new books, new minis, new stuff. All these cool things that we talk about, all these reviews we do. Big help from my patrons. Thank you. So if you like this video, if you like this subclass, again, leave a comment, leave a review, or just subscribe and like the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.